do you call
when all that you see
are actors on your television singing off key?
What savvy, well-versed heroes can settle this score once more with TV. Welcome, witches and princesses, to Once More with TV, a podcast celebrating TV musical episodes from the sublime to the subprime,
and definitively ranking them using every theater child's worst nightmare, math.
I'm your co-host, Alex Kovnatsky, and I am a big Into the Woods enthusiast.
And I'm your co-host, Liza Truschel, she, her. And they should just stop making live-action remakes of animated fairy tales.
Yes.
Just stop doing it.
Yes, 100%. Who wants it? I'm so confused as to who's watching these.
Disney wants money. That's who wants it.
But they need people to watch it in order to make money.
They do.
Anyway, this is not a live-action movie adaptation. This week, we're doing Season 6, Episode 20 of Once Upon a Time, entitled The Song in Your Heart. The Song in Your Heart? The Song in My Heart? The Song in Your Heart.
The Song in Your Heart.
This released May 7th, 2017. Liza, what is your relationship with Once Upon a Time?
So I remember when Once Upon a Time started coming out. It was like 2011 or so. I was impressionable. I was in high school. I did watch the first probably 2 seasons of the show. And then it like very obviously started going off the rails. You can see by this point there are almost no rails at the time when we rejoined this show. Yeah, I remember enjoying the open of it, but thinking that it was likely to go down. The creators, Horowitz and Kitsis, their other major thing that they worked on was Lost, notably another show with a fun opening premise that had no idea where to go after that. So it felt doomed to the same fate relatively early on.
And they use a lot of the same actors, too, which I think is fun.
It is. Yeah, they used a ton of the same actors. Yeah, a lot of it I absorbed through osmosis. I was, like very active on Tumblr and stuff at the time. So was still kind of like, would kind of know what was going on, but definitely stopped watching myself. What about you?
Yeah, kind of no relationship at all to Once Upon a Time. I remember it coming out and people being like, oh, this is actually pretty good. You should watch it. And I remember it being all over Tumblr. And then I remember it being like, it's actually not that good anymore. Yeah. It's kind of bad.
That was the exact trajectory. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I blinked and they had 7, 8 seasons or something like that.
7. Well, they had 6 of the regular shows. So this was kind of, I think, originally supposed to be sort of the penultimate, there's a finale after this. This is sort of the penultimate episode. And then they had a spin-off season. The 7th season, a few of the main cast didn't come back. Notably Jennifer Morrison was like, I'm fucking out of here.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I know about the show is there was a lot of off-screen drama with the cast. Snow White and Prince Charming, who are obviously in the show and love, they were both in relationships when they got on the show, but now are very quickly got married to each other, and there's been allegations that was not kosher. I think he was married and she was engaged. Are
they still married?
They
What's
are.
the cause on this?
So maybe it's love. I mean, maybe it was kosher. We don't know. Friend of the show, Tom Ellis from Lucifer.
Friend of
the pod.
Huge fan.
Yeah, huge fan. He was on literally one episode of the show as Peter Pan and then was recast. Probably because Lucifer started, now that I think of it. But he has been accused of cheating on his then wife with Emily DeRavin, who he was in a scene with. So I guess they had crazy chemistry.
Wow. I want to see the show that's just a documentary of all the relationships.
Truly, because dude, it goes on. The other thing about this was multiple actors left because they were publicly were publicly critical about the writing quality of the show, which is not something you want happening. But also the big drama, or perhaps it's not even drama, it might not even be goss, but really what happened was the fan base for this show kind of crossed some lines and got way too involved. So there was this really big ship that was called Swan Queen, and it was Emma Swan, the main character, with Regina, the like evil queen, who's
Evil
kind of your
queen.
main antagonist for a lot of the early parts of the show. And like people got really up in Jennifer Morrison and Lana Parrilla's business about it. And so they it seems like they started off as friends, but like Lana Parrilla leaned into it. Jennifer Morrison, a notoriously private person, leaned out of it. And it might have caused this like feud and stuff, because like later when they would post about the show, they would like crop each other out of photos on Instagram and like never spoke. And like eventually like Jennifer Morrison, Jennifer Goodwin, Josh Dallas, like a few of these people were essentially bullied off of social media.
That sucks.
None of them even had like, I mean, you know, rip Twitter, but like they all got like bullied off of Twitter. Like this, what I remember really about this was that like for every fan who like just wanted to enjoy a show, there was at least two that were like really quite rabid about it and got up in these actors' personal business and caused like seemingly a lot of shit that leaked onto set. And so, yeah, I don't know. I remember this show just being very dramatic offset. It would be a great short documentary.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I guess it's right in that perfect time of like the social media storm, and we don't really have protections yet for
it was really,
or like people on set. Yeah,
it was really, really new in that space. And I think this was so when like actors are trying to figure out how to use Instagram. You know, like we don't really know how to do that as a public figure yet, and it got really, really wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hate that. hate all of that. Hey, fans, be normal.
I know, just like I don't know, a character. It's one thing to ship characters, and you know, I've talked about this, and we talked about this a lot during the fan fiction episode of Supernatural. Like, ship who you want. Like, it's not really my business, but it's also not the actor's business.
Totally.
Like, enjoy it. If you enjoy a character's dynamic, like go for it. But you know, do your fan art, do your fix. Don't bring them into it.
Yeah, to be clear, when I say be normal, I mean be as weird as you want.
Yeah, be
but
a
don't
freak,
drag
but do that on your own time.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, in completely unrelated stuff, for this episode, we actually had two Broadway writers do the music for this.
Did we?
Yeah, Alan Zachary and Michael Weiner. They did a show called First Date, which had either a Broadway or an off-Broadway run. It was pretty short. I don't know the musical at all, but they're currently doing the 13 Going on 30 musical that's supposed to come out pretty soon, I think, actually, sometime this year. And they also did High School Musical, the series. So they did the music for that.
Truly the Ouroboros of Disney, properties. Unbelievable.
I like that they leaned into it. I like that it's called the musical, the series. But anyway, for this episode, to give the IMDb synopsis, in flashback, Snow makes a wish that causes everyone to burst into song, infuriating the evil queen. In Storybrooke, this wish comes back into play as Emma and Hook prepare for their wedding, and the Black Fairy announces her plans. Really quick, Black Fairy and Evil Queen, two different people?
Different people.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to ask a lot of clarifying questions.
No, I was watching this, and my, like, scant knowledge from watching 2 seasons of this show over 10 years ago was extremely helpful. And I was just sitting there like, wow, this is going to make absolutely no sense to Alex.
Yeah, I was pretty lost. But
that makes sense.
I did kind of have an organic moment of like, oh, so this is connected to this. So like, I think they did enough to catch me up at certain points, and I'd be like, oh, this is an amazing reveal. And then I went, actually, it's probably not a reveal for everyone else. This is a reveal for me right now. But anyway, this episode starts with a young version of Emma singing a song to herself and then being
bullied
by her sister.
No, just another child in this group home. So Emma was orphaned because her parents are charming and Snow White. And that
was a reveal for me later.
Yeah, I thought it might be because they're like the same fucking age. That happened because the first season of this show, the evil queen has cast a curse where all of these characters now live in Storybrooke, Maine. And they all have like different lives and have amnesia about being fairy tale characters. They don't know. And time has been frozen also. So none of them have aged, which is why Emma is now the same age as her parents. Emma has a child, Henry, who we meet in this. He gets adopted by the evil queen because I think she wants to use him to like, I don't know, something. She wants to use him to fulfill some prophecy or some bullshit. But she like seeks him out when Emma gives him up for adoption.
Henry, by the way, looks like he's 30 years old. Like, how
he
old
did
is he
age
supposed to
on
be?
the show. No, he was like a little baby when the show started.
Got it.
And it was like alarming because I hadn't seen him since the show started. It was like alarming for this teenager to walk in. But he essentially he figured out Emma was his mom and that she was going to be the one to be able to lift the curse. So the first season is him getting her to come to the town and lift that first curse.
Got it.
So yeah, she was by all extent an orphan because her parents, I guess, like gave her up. She escaped the town somehow. Her parents gave her up for adoption and didn't know she existed for like 30 years.
Jeez. Yeah, it's interesting because I think I pieced most of that together. My other question on that, Captain Hook, does he know that he's has
hot?
Amnesia in this? Because he is the only person who looks exactly the same.
No, he did have so that's such a good question and I don't remember because the thing is like the curse is broken at the end of the first season and I actually think because of some rights issues, they didn't get Captain Hook or any J.M. Barrie characters until season 2. So I don't think he ever had the amnesia. At this point, their amnesia has been wiped away. They all remember everything at this point. But he dresses exactly the same. He chose to change absolutely nothing about himself.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
I
honestly.
do too. I liked it.
He has an aesthetic and he's going to keep it. He sees no issue.
I have some notes about that later when we get into his song, but
what could that possibly be? But go on.
But we kind of get that scene in that flashback, and then we jump forward to Emma trying on wedding dresses.
Oh my god, sorry. One thing about this dumb flashback before we simply have to move on. We simply have to move on. But like this girl comes in and bullies her. It's so vicious. It's so out of pocket.
So out of pocket.
But she also says like, "What do you want to be, the next Madonna?" And she's like humming, and I'm like, okay. Did someone just Google singers who were famous in 1991 and pick the first fucking one? Like, who accuses a 7-year-old of wanting to be Madonna? That's crazy. What 10-year-old accuses a 7-year-old of wanting to be Madonna? I lost my mind. That felt so stupid.
Also, shout out that young actress because she's in like everything. I recognized her as Theo.
She was that girl for like fucking 10 years. She was every child.
Totally. But we get to the wedding dresses later, and I do want to...
because the wedding is tonight and this bitch doesn't know what she's wearing? I had a heart attack.
Honestly, planning for a wedding right now, relatable. I'm like, we're not going to figure any of this out in time.
Fuck? And Snow White's like, you can wear my wedding dress. You've never seen it. And she's like, I love it. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have a panic attack. This is awful.
Yeah, it's I mean, I know that I was confused a lot of the time, but the dialogue is kind of crazy. The whole episode.
Yeah, absolutely psychotic. These people behave in unhinged ways. Yeah. Not knowing what you're gonna wear to your own wedding, which is again 6 p.m. A crazy time to get married.
Crazy.
Just a wild hour of
and also
to get married.
Not consistent. They don't get married at 6 p.m. They get married before 6 p.m. because we know things happen at 6 p.m. It's not
They
consistent.
get married at 5:30.
Yeah. But we get some kind of early underscoring in this. Obviously, there's some like orchestral tuning during the opening credits, but it kind of stood out to me in a positive way that a lot of the underscoring that happens under the dialogue is very kind of Disney magical, and I liked it. I was like, oh, okay, we're kind of really leaning into this. But we switch quickly to Snow White and Prince Charming trying to protect their daughter from an evil queen. Like, we just jump straight into that.
Yeah.
With no connective tissue.
Yeah, that's pretty the uneven nature of this show was really brought out by this episode, but was not new to this episode.
Totally. And then Snow White wishes upon a star.
Classic. Yeah, what else are you gonna fucking do?
Wish they could kind of just play a little bit of that music. But I don't know what the rights. I don't know how rights work at all.
It's interesting because, of course, ABC put this on, and they have the rights to Disney.
Yeah, and
Disney characters like Jiminy Cricket and stuff, who is not original to the story. I don't think. Maybe it is actually. Whatever.
I think there always was a cricket in Pinocchio stories.
But Jiminy specifically, right?
And I think that cricket is kind of like a dick in other stories. I could be wrong about that.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
He's like a horrible he like encourages Pinocchio to be terrible. Like he's not his conscience. He like eggs him on. Anyway. But they have like, they do have Disney IP original characters. Like later Aladdin is in this show and so is Jasmine. Like they do have the rights to some Disney things, but I wonder if they didn't have rights to songs.
Yeah, I wonder if they don't have rights to songs. And also, I do, in a way, respect that they're not leaning on that at all. They're like, no, we're doing all original music. Nothing is really calling back. I mean, they do have like some tiny callbacks, which we'll talk about, but I just love When You Wish Upon a Star. I think that's goated. I think they should have a great song. Yeah, they should have that a great little bit song. In that. But we do get the first song. We get Powerful Magic. This song, I don't know about you, Liza, but I thought it was really good. I thought the singing was really good in it in a way that surprised me. The lyrics were something else. But both of them sounded really great on it, I thought.
Is that like Jennifer Goodwin singing?
Yeah.
To me, it sounded like Josh Dallas, but like there was a bit of a disconnect for Jennifer Goodwin. Is that her?
From what I read, everybody does their own singing.
Okay. Okay.
From what I saw, everybody does very bad lip syncing.
Yeah. Oh, horrific. Which is part of why I was wondering. It's like the lip syncing itself is just abysmal. But yeah, we get a very fun like, oh no, we're singing. Why are we singing kind of moments, which I think is fun. And also I liked that Snow White's reaction to that is different from Prince Charming's. Like she's like, wait, what the fuck? And he's like, what the fuck? I sound amazing, which was like very fun. I think like those two things are really different.
And he does. He sounds really great on this song. I was
really good.
Like, this is a Broadway tenor. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Here?
I was like, what are you doing here? I will say some of the lyrics, not my favorite.
The lyrics throughout this whole thing are so bad.
So bad. I couldn't believe how bad they were. Soaring sweetly from my throat. No. No. Jail. Horrible. Absolutely not. I really like
the thing that really rubbed me the wrong way. I was trying to put my finger on it because every single song I was like, what are these lyrics? And I think they're just trying to make everything a metaphor. Like they're always going like the sun will rise and, magic will happen and stuff like that. But I'm like, these words don't mean anything.
Yeah, they're very word salad. And something about like the obsessive rhyming was actually annoying. Like the patterns are actually so straightforward that we're like almost so focused on getting a rhyme that we're not focused on saying anything interesting at all with any of the lyrics.
Yeah, and I think what it misses is a bit of whimsy and creativity, right? It feels like the lyrics were written by a high schooler. It actually very basic. Does.
I wrote that exact same thing. I was like, these are really like, they're elementary. Like these are not interesting. These are first pass lyrics. Like these are not what you stick with.
Yeah.
But yeah, they both sound really good. I thought there were some really fun harmonies in here too.
Really great harmonies. That ending harmony especially is
yeah, that
good.
Ending harmony is great. I thought they sounded wonderful. I was like pleasantly surprised by this number.
Yeah, I was shocked. I kind of braced myself for people to be bad. I feel like we've had a lot of kind of bad singing in our past. But yeah, they all sounded really great. If I'm gonna be nitpicky, I think Snow White is straining a little bit. She's really trying to belt every single thing. And I don't think she needs to.
Yeah, she doesn't need to, and it's straining her a little. I would totally agree.
But Homeboy sounds great.
He sounded. I was blown away. I was also. I have to be clear. My expectations were in hell.
Yeah.
Like the bar could not have been lower going into this for me. But he was great.
I'm not saying he was this good, but he was giving me a little bit of Santino in it.
Tino Fontana.
yeah.
I wrote the same note. There was something in it that was he's not Santino Fontana. We're not saying that. But I think also, though, that makes really good sense for him as a musical reference of someone to listen to, as someone who very famously played Prince Charming.
Yeah, exactly.
And is the quintessential Prince Charming voice.
Yeah, it was also through this song where I was like, oh, she's pregnant. Oh, okay, her son, the child they're protecting is not alive, and still didn't realize it was Emma yet. So
yeah, sure. Why would you
keep track of that? But after that song, we go back to Storybrooke, right? Storybrooke is the real world,
the town,
and they're still looking at wedding dresses.
They're still there again. Like the way the flashbacks work on this show is sometimes really confusing because apparently they take literal seconds and sometimes they're standalone scenes and it's the next day. It's very hard to keep track.
Yeah, and this is when I started to go, oh my God, what is the editing in this show? Because usually I'm not the type of person that notices it that much, but they were just cutting in the middle of lines every single other line.
It's really crazy. But we get the Black Fairy, who is different from the Evil Queen, and who I thought was Maleficent when she showed up, to be honest. I didn't know who this was. Who wants Emma's heart and turned the dress black, I guess, to be rude.
Yeah, I think it's to be rude. That's how I read it.
It's very rude, to be fair.
But she honestly, she has a really commanding presence. I thought she's a good little mustache twirling sinister on this.
Mm-hmm. Very appropriate for this family oriented, here's your evil queen. She wears all black and has weird feathers on her head.
Totally. Totally. But then we go back to the other queen, and I'm just, just so lost in confusion.
The one where Giancarlo Esposito is the mirror.
We love that.
Absolute treat. Completely forgot about that. Love Giancarlo Esposito. No nonsense on whatever he did.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's underused. That's my note.
I mean, of course, you only get the shadow of his face. It's rude. That's Giancarlo Esposito, you idiot.
That's Gus Fring. That's Gus Fring behind that mirror. We get the next song. I was kind of confused how they broke this up, because I think this is the Queen sings, and then Love Doesn't Stand a Chance is shortly after. It's almost immediately after.
Yeah,
that.
I think the Queen sings is sort of just the intro. I think if you were looking at it as sheet music, it would literally be one piece of sheet music. It would just have a slash at the top.
Exactly.
Because they go right into each other.
This is where we get the high hos from the dwarfs and the no strings on me from Geppetto. So they are calling back to those things, but they're not singing the same melodies as the original songs. So that's why I was thinking, what are we doing with rights here? How does this work? I
wonder if Alan Menken was just shut it down. Actually, he didn't do either of those musicals.
Shut it down anyway.
Shut it down.
Get people to watch Gallivant instead.
Exactly. I think he was actually doing Gallivant at this time. So he was fuck off, you guys.
Anyway, this song is all over the place, which I mostly didn't like, but it wasn't so all over the place that I was like, this is garbage. I think there's something there that they were trying to work with. It just didn't fully work for me.
Yeah, so basically the Queen is singing and she hates it. I do like it when characters react differently to the idea that we're singing now, when it's not all just confusion, when people react in character to that. I find that amusing. I think that's what works so well about I've Got a Theory in Buffy, is that everybody's got their own reactions. So we get her reaction, which is very different to everyone else's, and she's really frustrated. And then we get, these little insights into everyone else's songs. It's a little, it is a little scatter shot for me. I was very distracted by how terrible the special effects were. Actually, I will say that for this entire show. I was very distracted by the terrible visuals, and I found that quite annoying.
I like when the Black Fairy appears and disappears in the scene right before this, and I was like, okay, special effects budget, and then everything else afterwards, I was like,
everything else was straight trash. It was just unbelievable. But then, we get her, I wrote Down with Love. What's it actually called?
Yeah, it's called Love Doesn't Stand a Chance. But the last thing I want to say is that, and it connects into this, is that I don't know who they were orchestrating this song for in the beginning, but this song the Queen sings was not in her register at all. She was
Not at
so
all.
down there.
Oh my God.
And so uncomfortable. And Love Doesn't Stand a Chance, she's a little bit more comfortable,
but not very.
Still not really.
Yeah.
And I don't think
had
that's
a
the
lot of-
actress's fault.
I don't think it is either. I had a lot of sympathy as someone who Mezzo Sopranos. The joke that we always have is that you get to play witches and bitches. Like, you don't get any of the fun songs because those are all given to sopranos, and the sopranos get to be the ingenue, and you have to be the. I mean, I've played evil queens before because you're forced to be down in this like weird register, and that's not necessarily
in a show.
my
You're not
register.
talking about in real life.
It depends on who you ask, but no, I mean, like the most cogent example I can pull is I was the queen in Once Upon a Mattress way back in the day, and that's not really my comfort zone, but I'm definitely not a soprano. Like, I definitely can't do like any of the leads. So but I had a lot of sympathy for this because it's like this song that's written to be like, to me, this song really fell flat in that it was really like, she's an asshole and she's gonna kind of yell the whole thing and she's gonna be like, love sucks. I like really didn't enjoy this song, and perhaps that isn't a reaction to being forced to sing songs like this that I hated.
Yeah, I read, when I was doing my research, I read that they wanted to make this kind of like Rocky Horror, kind of David Bowie, kind of Blondie.
Oh my God.
And I really didn't get any of that.
None of that. None of that.
Yeah, and
the song is so repetitive.
Yes.
Like, all of these songs are a bit repetitive for me, to be honest, but this one I really felt that. I was like, how fucking long are we going to do this? Also, all I was thinking about how dancing on your own is hard.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to watch. I just got really uncomfortable during this. I had a bad experience.
It feels like this is supposed to be not necessarily a showstopper, but like a big entertaining evil dance number that, you know, all villains have at like this point in a Disney movie, right? We're thinking Poor Unfortunate Souls. Thinking Be Prepared, right? Like, it should be one of those. And A, it's not campy enough to be any of those. And B, it's just she feels a little bit uncomfortable in the dancing and a little bit uncomfortable in the singing. Again, I don't think that's the actress's fault. I think they didn't do enough for her.
It doesn't feel tailored to her at all. It feels like, it feels like really, really broad strokes, and not a lot of detail work. It feels like first idea, worst idea.
Yeah, totally. I'll give them a couple points back for choreographed neck snapping. I like that it was synchronized, and I like that they
that
did
was fun. But also, weren't those her guys? Like, why did you?
I don't understand.
I wrote that down and I was like, are those not your guards? Like, now you're gonna have to train 2 more guards. That's gonna be so annoying. Who's gonna get promoted? Nobody wants to get promoted if this is the work environment. In
another song, that could be really funny, right? Like, I could see an evil villain doing that in a very campy, funny way.
If Scar did that, that's hilarious.
Yeah, right.
You know?
I love it when Scar kills animals.
I was going to say, actually, that movie, famously, not a lot of murder.
Well, famously, one big murder.
One big one. And it's, like, hugely emotional.
and another murder. I mean, do we call Simba killing Scar murder? I think so.
But he dies in the Disney villain way, which is to fall very far.
Yeah, but I mean, so did Mufasa.
Yeah, but Mufasa, you see the dead body, and that's where they cross the line. Because, so Disney villains die by falling off of things or by aging very quickly and turning into a little puddle. They don't die, and, like, the body, the corpus of it, I could write an essay about this, actually, is, like, never explored.
Well, okay, hey, Ursula does get impaled, right?
Oh my God, that's such a good point. That's such a good point.
But we don't like women. That's different.
We hate women, and we hate things based on drag queens because they're threatening.
Yes.
So,
but they are entertaining, so we do need them to have a number.
But we do need them. But then we're gonna in case they get too uppity.
Anyway, okay. Moving on from that, we do get your boy Captain Hook when they're
So
trying
handsome.
to they're trying to find a captain, and he's like, "I'm a captain," and he sings
Hilarious.
his song "Revenge
I
Is Gonna
also
Be
say
Mine."
this, Colin O'Donoghue, first of all, hilarious. They're pretending he's British. He's so Irish looking to me. And it's just like, his name's Colin O'Donoghue. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Just let him be Irish. But also, I just want to shout out, he starred in a Christina Perri music video way back in the day where he wears a very soft little sweater and lives on like a farmstead on his own doing lumberjack things. And that lives rent-free in my mind.
That's so funny. This song is Queen inspired. It's supposed to sound
What?
like Somebody to Love. It does a little bit in the
Oh.
beginning.
A little bit.
And you hear the guitars. The guitars sound very Brian May to me. But otherwise, it's kind of a sea shanty, sailors and pirates
to me,
getting together.
Yeah, Queen's the wrong reference.
I agree.
It to me, this, like, my big note about this was it should have sounded more like a sea shanty.
Yes.
Like, these are pirates. That's Captain Hook. I know he's hot now, but he's Captain Hook.
So okay, so I mean that was my note. I'm curious how you feel about this, but I actually really didn't care for this performance of Hook just because it doesn't make sense to me at all. I don't really believe that he wants revenge that much because the only
No.
thing I believe from him is that he's cool, right? That's all he's exuding.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. That reaction makes perfect sense to me because I didn't buy his revenge storyline at all. And that's also coming from having, like, seen the show. Like, when he was hell-bent on revenge when you meet him in the show.
Mhm.
But, like, he doesn't seem to tap into that. Like, this song specifically, because of its, like, happy-go-lucky sort of tone, it doesn't, like, revenge is a dark thing. And
Yeah.
to be pursuing it endlessly, like, on a path of vengeance, does not lend itself to this music.
Yeah.
And so I think it's impossible to get that from this. Like, there's no way he's bent on revenge.
I think you could have gone one of two ways. You could have made it extra serious and scary and, intense. Or you could have just made it really funny.
Really funny.
Right?
Yeah,
Which is
like,
Captain
the
Hook's
thing about
whole
it,
thing.
because I would believe, like, a goofy ass pirate who really wants to hunt a crocodile if he's goofy ass, you know? Like, if he is just, like, I don't know, if he's, like, way camp and way over the top and his huge enemy in life is a crocodile.
It's a crocodile.
Then it's really funny when Snow is like, "You're hunting a crocodile." Like, that would have made that joke funny.
Totally.
And, like, yeah, he needs to be, like, way over the top, like one of those weird grizzled sea captains who's like, my wife is the sea, and I'm hunting a crocodile that ruined my life. And, like, yeah, this
100%.
like young hot Captain Hook did not work for that at all.
Yeah. All this to say, he sounds incredible in this
He
song.
sounded great.
It kind of blew my mind because I was like, wait, this is way higher than it seems because he just has a really amazing mix. That last note is a
Yeah.
B flat and it does not sound like he's belting at all, right?
No,
like he just sounds so
I was actually
comfortable.
extremely impressed by his vocal performance. Not impressed by the song, but impressed by him.
Yeah. Did you know that he broke his foot during that scene when he jumps
Oh my God,
on the
Aragorn
chair?
style?
Aragorn style.
What? He pulled a Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, he pulled a Viggo Morgenstein, and I don't think it's in any of the takes, but I did see that, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, wow. Musical theater. It is just as cool as Lord of the Rings, and just as manly, and just as dangerous.
But yeah, it's interesting. That song, I don't like it in the show, but musically, sonically, maybe the strongest number for me. Besides maybe the opener. I like the opener a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt weird about this whole episode where I'm like, musically, this is pretty strong, especially for original music. I'm like, this is impressive, and the performances are really impressive. The lyrics suck, and I don't care about anything they're saying.
So bad. I could not believe how bad the lyrics were for all of these.
Yeah.
I mean, again, just like first thought, worst thought on most of these lyrics. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, especially here. Like, I just didn't buy his character motivation at all. And therefore, this song doesn't, like, add anything for me. There's no value add for this.
And then the cut to the next scene is crazy. We like, for me especially, because I'm like, who is this man that he's getting revenge on? Is that the crocodile? No, it's not the crocodile.
It kind of is, I think. I don't really know how they worked that in, but like the thing is, okay, so Robert Carlyle plays Rumpelstiltskin. One thing I do know is the role was kind of written for him, and I do feel bad because Robert Carlyle is like actually a really good actor. He's a Scottish actor. He's really good. I don't know if anybody's watched Lockerbie: A Search for Truth recently. He's fucking fantastic on that. But he's a really good actor, and they kind of use him as like the scapegoat for all male villains. And it gets a little out of hand. So first of all, he's Rumpelstiltskin, which they short to Rumple. Immediately jail. Immediately jail. You can't call someone Rumple. You can't do it. It's not allowed. He's also, though, he's the Beast in the Beauty and the Beast storyline. Okay. And so Emily Duravin, like one of our friends from Lost, is Beauty, is Belle, and she like they're in love. But they give up on that, and Emily Duravin leaves the show. But then also he's just sort of known as the Dark One, which they use to sort of encompass this like very broad, if there's like an evil deed that was done by a man, it's him. And so he might have like shapeshifted into being the crocodile and bitten. I think he did. Like, I think he was the crocodile at one point.
Okay, so
I think this small Scottish man was the crocodile.
He wants revenge, and then he got a little bit of revenge.
He got
immediately. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a couple of different scenes before we get the next number that all kind of meant nothing to me. I remember seeing
except that a woman has a recording of herself humming from 25 years ago on her fucking desk at work. That's crazy.
Listen, I assume that there's magic involved with that, right? Like that is put in front of her by magical
that's just
means.
Bad writing.
The bad writing for me is when I don't even remember which characters are saying it, but somebody's like, time. You mentioned time. That's the solution to this problem.
First of all, it's wild to me that you can pick out one moment of bad writing on the show. But yeah, no, she says something like, what happened last time? And she's like, time. It was like one of the dumber things I've ever seen.
I mean, that's a parody, right? Like that feels like it's in a parody.
I don't think it is, my dude.
Anyway, the next number we get feels so out of place, and I don't understand why it's here at all. We get Elphaba singing "Wicked Always Wins."
Well, I don't know that she's technically Elphaba.
She's Elphaba. She's the Wicked Witch.
But she is, but she's not because they don't have the rights to that.
Right, of course.
They do have the rights to the original Wizard of Oz, where she just doesn't have a name, so her name is just Wicked Witch. They made up some other fucking name for her, but she's technically not Elphaba. I mean, should we talk about this fucking song? I'm exhausted.
This song is boring. It's the big problem with it. I think it definitely got way more dynamic once you had the background vocals at the end, and I think she grows into the song. I think she sounds great on it, and I think she grows into it well.
This to me felt a lot like we do have this actress who can sing.
Yeah,
she's not super involved in this episode, but we'll just shoehorn her in here.
Yeah.
That's what that really felt like to me.
Yeah, it felt super unmotivated.
I would just, oh God, this song, this was another like tonal disconnect for me. Like here again, first of all, we sort of have a second villain. That's part of like the convoluted nature of like this show, but also this episode for me was just like, oh, we've introduced, actually, this is the third villain of the episode. Fourth? And they're not like working together.
Yeah.
Like fucking hell, dude. But this is like our fourth villain and our second villain motive number. And it sounds like a teenager singing about a boy she likes.
Yeah.
Like the sound is so disconnected again from like what we're actually going for. And also it sucks to pair green skin with red hair. That is rude. And they should not have done that. Also, like, I'm sorry, can we give an un-Emmy to the makeup team on this show? I actually had so many problems with the makeup in most scenes. Hers was the most egregious because it truly looked like that green face paint you get at Spirit Halloween had just been sponged onto this woman's face. I felt so bad for her, but like, I like Captain Hook at the end. He was wearing so much blush at his wedding. I was like, we have blush blindness. We need to tone this down. I don't mind that he's wearing a lot of eyeshadow, a lot of eyeliner. Good for him. But like the blush it was just, anyway, makeup was horrid. Her hair was not the right color. And this song was so cloyingly boring.
Repetitive.
And like, yeah, it was just not fucking good. I really wanted this to end. I was like really counting down the seconds until I could get out of here.
Yeah, I want us to do an episode, Liza, where we give negative Emmys and negative Tonys.
Negative Emmys. Yeah, actually, I would do it.
Even just coming up with the nominees sounds fun. I do think I want to give it something because I do think there are interesting musical choices in this. The problem is that you could have the most interesting song, but if it doesn't matter, I'm going to be bored. You know, it's going to feel repetitive. And I think that's the huge problem here. And it's not the most interesting song in the world.
It's
they
not
had a couple
very
of smart
interesting
choices.
song. It's not an interesting song. It left my mind immediately after it was done. So did the character. And then I was like shocked to see her again. And yeah, also it's just, again, these lyrics and this dialogue, like, oh my God. I mean, she literally says, wait, why just revel in her demise when I could use it to my advantage? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know,
Nobody talks like that, dude.
I don't know. But we get a couple more scenes after that. Like, it's like this song just existed and then nothing else happens.
Yeah,
with it.
exactly. It was completely inconsequential.
I do like that when they have kind of a confrontation between the evil queen and God, what's the main girl's name again? Emma? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
They played the like little girl vocals over that moment in the background. I just thought that was an interesting touch, that they like remind us as an audience that that's coming back in a kind of way, because it is integral to the plot.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, we get the next song, which returns us back to the Prince Charming, Snow White, and the Evil Queen, which is great. I was like, it's such a relief to see Prince Charming again, because I know it's going to sound good.
You feel safe.
I feel safer, but well, we can talk about it. This song made me feel less safe. I just wanted the opening number.
I was about to say, first of all, big ups to Lana Priya's face when they start singing. That was hilarious.
Yes.
Like, just the exhaustion and the, oh my God, this is fucking happening was really good. And I thought that really gave, like, wow, she is sick of these people's absolute true love bullshit. Like, that was good. But yeah, neither of these songs are made more interesting by a reprise, and neither are served by being combined.
Yes, 100%. I like the idea of having a musical number off, like a dance off.
Yeah, it's very fun.
But it doesn't quite work. They kind of don't nail it. And I can't tell if I'm laughing because it's executed poorly or if I'm laughing because it's a good idea. Because when they're singing and the evil queen's just like charging up a fireball, like that's kind of funny. But I don't know how intentional that was.
I don't know if it's funny in the way that they intended it to be funny.
Exactly.
Because it's so fucking stupid. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, the whole like, who is this helping? Why does it matter that they're singing? Like, I feel like, again, they keep talking about how powerful their singing is. And I guess what I'm supposed to understand is that it stopped the queen from charging a fireball. But it doesn't feel like it was doing anything.
There is a kernel of an idea there. Really, the big problem with this is that, like, you can have two different songs that combine together and have some kind of counterpoint that works, but there needs to be some kind of connective tissue, which didn't exist here. And there is the idea of, like, the songs really switch off between, like, the Prince Charming song versus the Evil Queen song, and they go back and forth, and they're pretty distinct. And then it just slowly starts becoming just the Prince Charming's music backing that the Evil Queen is singing over, and it doesn't quite work. And it does feel like her song is being consumed by the other song. So, like, there's an idea there. It just doesn't actually pay off in the way that I think they wanted it to.
Yeah, I didn't get the payoff that they wanted from this, for sure.
Yeah. I do love that when the evil queen takes away their powers, like, oh man, we can't sing. Guess we can't do anything now.
They leave. I mean, like, she like teleports them back to their house, which is low-key nice of her.
Yeah, it's really kind.
They like don't have to walk home. Like that kind of rips.
They didn't have to get an Uber. That's very nice.
Like that's nice. It was like so weird. I was like, you guys are mortal enemies and you're just gonna teleport them home?
Yeah.
Like get out of my house? You're gonna like stab them or something?
I do like that they acknowledge that the strongest magic of all was not love, because it's obviously chronomancy. We all know that.
We all know that.
But the blue fairy shows up and says that the song is still inside them this whole time.
Using her wand like a goddamn laser pointer.
No, I actually
to, like, point at Snow White's stomach to be like, it's in there.
I actually did like that for two reasons. One, that's when I realized, oh, this is Emma's parents.
Huge reveal.
And two, I think it actually is clever to say the song is inside of you, and it's like, no, it's literally like your child like has the song inside of them. It's physically inside of you. But that's not a reveal, right? Everybody already knew that.
Everybody but you knew that. I mean,
Okay,
not
cool.
that the songs were in her heart, but like it's integral from moment one that those are her parents.
Yes. Yeah, after that we get back to Emma's son, who's trying to find out the story of this all.
Yeah, he has this book that he keeps with him that's like, that's how he figured out that they were all storybook characters. And then he realized the book was kind of like being live written based on what they did. But yeah, anyway, he figures out that like Emma has the songs inside her heart and like runs to her. Also, we didn't cover this, but everybody else has been frozen in time. Whatever. Fuck it.
Whatever.
But whatever, not important. But,
I like that his book is a picture book. I like that it printed out a picture of the scene.
They're printed pictures of the scene immediately beforehand, and that's true throughout the entire show, and it's hilarious every time. It's like when in Mamma Mia 2, here we go again, they had still, like, of course Meryl Streep is dead, and it's like surrounding her funeral, and they have stills from the first movie on the walls. Yeah. That was hilarious. I love it when people do that, as if there was a cameraman right there. Anyway,
the song's
he, like,
in
runs
her heart.
to her, and it's like, the song is in your heart. She has no context for that. I'm just going to throw that out there. He runs up and said, the song is inside you. And she's like, of course. Like, she has no idea what's going on. Also, begging the question, does this fucking kid go anywhere without his backpack? What a nerd. What a fucking
and also,
dweeb.
Why isn't he frozen with everyone else? It's like, here, I've collected
just,
all
like,
the people you
hanging out
love.
in her office. He was just like, he was still there. So like, presumably he's just been there all day hanging out for no fucking reason.
Trying to read a book.
Trying to read a book desperately.
The evil queen rips out Emma's heart, Temple of Doom style, and that ends up unlocking her song, I guess. Yeah, I guess, like, so she doesn't die. So you're supposed to die when that happens. Medical advice from Liza Truchel. You're supposed to die when your heart gets ripped out. You're supposed to die when your heart's ripped out, Temple of Doom style. Although I don't think it kills everyone in the show. I feel like people were allowed to live without their hearts for a while, and they were just heartless. Okay, anyway, so this is like a normal thing that happens in the show. Oh, stealing people's hearts has been day one. This is well-trod territory. Still catching up. This is OG villain modus operandi for this show. Yeah. I think it unlocks the song. I think so. Yeah. I don't know. I guess she's just been told the song is in her heart, and then the heart's out, and she's like, oh, the song's out. That's the song. And we get Emma's theme, which I think has actually a really lovely interpolation of the humming that happens in the beginning. I think they did a good job with that, and I think the piano bit itself in like the A theme of this song is really great. I just thought it was nice. Again, lyrics are gonna lyric. Oh my god. My fate was as the one who'd save. What? What does that mean? That doesn't mean fucking anything. Oh my god, we're just trying to fit the meter so fucking bad that we're just like, we've given up all. It was just so I couldn't believe how bad the lyrics were. Yeah. And the thing that I do really love, I didn't really care for the B section of this song as much, but every time they got to the end of the A section where she's holding a note, they like transition into a minor chord in a way that's like awesome. I think it's powerful, and that's like when she like does the power to like free her friends or whatever. And I think
again,
that works.
The special effects on this are
Right, that doesn't work.
whoa. I mean, whoa. Also, imagine coming out of consciousness mid-song. Crazy. That's all I could think about. It was like, wow. I'm coming to, and this girl who has never sang in front of me before is singing.
We would be such assholes. We'd be like Statler and Waldorf being like,
oh my God.
You chose this song.
Like, this is your heart's song, you idiot.
But she does free them.
She does. Begging the question, what did this accomplish?
Yes.
Anyway.
Well, they get married now. That's what accomplishes.
They do. We go to the wedding where he's wearing way too much makeup, and she's wearing a fourth dress. That was not either of the dresses that were hung up, and that is not the one that turned black.
He just still looks like Captain Hook, though.
He does.
That's my problem.
He doesn't change at all. I think there's some joke about she wanted him to wear white, and he didn't. Like, he had the ugliest suit in the world hanging up on the wall the first time we see him, and he didn't wear that. So I guess we're glad that he's still Captain Hook.
I have a question to ask, and I feel like I'm going to be upset about it. Her name is Emma Swan, right?
Yeah.
Is she the ugly duckling? Is that her whole thing?
Oh my fucking God.
She's like bullied as a child, and now she's a swan.
God. I don't know, but it should be.
Why else would her name be Swan?
Yeah, why else would her name be Swan?
I kind of hate that. I don't know.
I think you're right, though. I don't know. I can't remember if that's ever a thing that's addressed, but it feels correct. I think you're right.
I don't want to be.
I think you are. That's unfortunate. It's canon.
We get the final number after the wedding. They're all singing. I think this is actually a fine closing number. I think it's appropriately positive, and there's something about Victoria's closing numbers that always have really saccharine lyrics. So I think this is maybe the one place where it feels like it fits.
Yeah, it's like happy beginning, right? Where it's like, this isn't
Exactly.
our happy ending. It's our happy beginning. There's some good choreo here. There's some really bad choreo here. There was a shot where it's like, I truly lost
there's
my
not
mind.
one shot. There are many shots
There
like
was
this.
There was a shot. There was a shot where they were like both counter characters in the foreground, and there was someone doing a lift of a woman, and like it's her chest is up and her arms are down and her head's down, so you kind of just see torso, and she's just up in the air being like carried across the background of the shot, and that's all you see. And I was like crying laughter.
There are
'Cause
lifts
it's so
happening.
isolated, and I was like, what the fuck?
Listen, the economy of lifts in this is insane.
Unbelievable. It was mostly
It's just like
lifts.
lifts and twirling constantly for no reason that like
None.
wasn't in sync with the music ever
At
and
all.
some of those lifts were really silly. Like sometimes they're upside down and
Yeah, like no, this woman in the background of this shot just like arcing through the air behind everybody. I lost my fucking mind. I couldn't believe it.
There's a really great descending harmony line that they do on Go, and then they do it again on another line. I just want to shout that out. The lifts were so upsetting. I really was so distracted.
Lifts were so crazy, and then there was like a lot of throwing our arms into a V. I was really the choreo during this was quite something.
And then we get the Wicked sound.
Yeah, we get the Wicked sound. Yeah,
because it's 6:00, and like, did we forget that this was going to happen? I thought we had solved the problem of that happening.
I thought so too. That's why I said, what did this accomplish? I mean, what was the fucking point of this episode if it didn't fucking accomplish anything? We're at square one.
Also, they said they were getting married at 6. There's no way they were early for their wedding.
They fucking were. The wedding is running ahead of schedule. What the fuck did this episode accomplish at all? She seems to have no advantage going into this quote unquote final battle. Again, first thought, worst thought, guys. Just like figure this out.
Figure it out.
Going into this quote unquote final battle, she's still gonna do it alone. They did not stop the curse. They have no way of counteracting it. I guess at least they got married.
Yeah, at least they got that.
But like they haven't in any way bettered themselves for what's about to come, except that now they're married, which seems like it's not going to be helpful.
She and her family were supposed to die, maybe?
They're supposed to be,
that was
I
the
think
stakes?
the idea, I'm really fuzzy on this because it wasn't explained well, shockingly. I think the idea is just that she's supposed to do it alone and that her family can't like help her and come with her. And I think that's what the curse is supposed to do, is it's supposed to freeze them so that only she can do this battle alone. And so she didn't stop the curse. That's just still going to happen.
Yeah.
Like she's still going to be separated from them in whatever way, because that's the point of the curse. So like they just didn't stop it.
I don't know. Guess we have to watch the finale to find out.
Yeah, we should come in back next week.
Let's score this thing, man. We've talked about it.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
please,
sorry.
please,
I have
please.
to say just a big
Go in.
in the shot where we cut back to, so we see this dark smoke that looks like the Lost Monster.
Yes.
Coming from the clock tower.
Yeah.
And we cut back to like, you know, shocked faces of everyone as we go into this, our worst thing, you know, everybody's doing their best, you know, clutching their pearls bullshit. And Jennifer Goodwin is holding a baby. Where did that baby come from? Whose baby is it? I haven't seen this baby ever in my fucking life. She's holding a blonde baby.
I did not catch that at all.
Who the fuck's baby is this?
Maybe she has a baby?
Did she not have it for the rest of the episode?
the sitter had it, I guess. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Fully. I had a conniption.
That's wild.
Absolutely unacceptable.
I'll have to go back and look at that. That's so weird.
There's just like she's just holding a little baby head. I couldn't believe it.
Was the baby at all in the wedding?
No, it wasn't even in the musical number, my guy. It wasn't there.
That's so weird. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, should we score?
Now we can score it.
Yeah, now we can score. All right. This could be a very interesting or not interesting scoring.
I have no idea how this is going to go.
We're starting as always with the general vibe. That's our enjoyment level. How's it age? Is it problematic? Is it good? It hasn't aged poorly. I think it was always this bad.
It was always this bad. It's exactly the same. It has a lot of preservatives in it or whatever. It's like a Twinkie on the shelf. It's always going to be what it is.
Yeah. I think for me, general vibe is less than mid. I think I'm hitting like a 4.
Yeah, which is again hard to do on our show.
Yeah.
It's actually only ever happened once before.
Yeah,
that
actually,
was how we feel.
Before we go any further, important to reiterate, this is a really hard thing to do. It is hard to make a musical episode.
So hard.
They did a lot of things very well.
And we'll give points where they're due, okay?
Yes.
This is not where they're due. This is not where they're due. The vibe,
I actually think they did a good job at doing musical parts.
Yes.
Less good of a job of doing a TV show parts.
The TV show is bad. The TV part is bad. Speaking of which, next category is music.
Next category is music. I have mixed feelings about this. It's all original music. They don't lean on anything Disney, which I think is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think actually like the underscoring to a lot of the dialogue is also just really good. The musical numbers I think are pretty good. There are some that are better than others.
Yeah, I would say musically they're stronger than they are lyrically.
Yeah.
And yeah, aside from the tonal mismatch that we have sometimes, like again with like Hook's song not making a lot of like musical sense for a character, same with off-brand Ralphaba, you know. And then we've got the Queen song wasn't quite as campy as they needed it to be in order to get that across.
I think like it's interesting too, because I think probably pound for pound, this is the most dynamic chorus we've had in any of our musical episodes. Like there's always background singing and it's almost always in harmony.
Mm-hmm.
And the harmony choices are great.
Yeah,
Anytime
harmony was
they like
really solid.
highlight harmony, it's very good. So I'm a little bit lost with the music. I kind of leaning 8.5 maybe, just because I really do like a lot of the musical choices. I just don't like a lot of the mismatch tonally, like you're saying. And there's a couple of like the combined song is pretty bad, I think.
I'm feeling 8.
Yeah, let's do an
I think
8.
we can do
I
an
think
8.
that's fair.
Yeah, give a lot of credit for writing their own music and a lot of it being pretty good, but
Yeah,
some of it just really doesn't work. Seeing things that don't work, the next category is lyrics. And I hate them.
they had to write a lot of them.
Did they?
Right. No one was forcing them to. They
Nobody
chose
forced them
to
to write
write
lyrics.
a lot of them.
They chose to write a lot of lyrics. Could have hired like a lyricist if they.
Yeah. Well, I think they are lyricists is the
Well,
problem. I'm concerned for
are
this
they?
13 going on
Can
30
we revoke
musical.
their lyric license? You know how you can like disbar a lawyer?
Yes.
Because again, soaring sweetly from my throat. No.
Nope.
Can I bring your attention to my fate was as the one who'd save? Absolutely not. I straight up want to give a 1 to these lyrics.
Let's give it a 2.
Okay.
I want to give them something back. I hate these lyrics, but I also, obviously our whole thing is biased, but I do want to give them some kind of credit for having mostly perfect rhymes and, sticking to whatever the crazy choice they made of like making the lyrics this way. They were consistent,
Yeah, they really were consistent. We can give them that. They were super consistent.
Oh, dancing is next.
Yep.
Dancing also pretty mixed bag. They put a lot of effort into having dancing in this.
They
There's
did.
quite a few dancing portions.
There's, of course, so we got the pirate song.
The pirate
Quite a lot
song
of jumping on a tavern table, etc.
and breaking feet. Yeah.
Breaking of feet. We've got
The last number with
so
all
many
of the
lifts.
lifts.
So many lifts. We just gave 1 point per lift.
Well, no, we shouldn't do that.
We should.
We can only go to 10.
That would throw off our entire criterion.
And we have the kind of bad dancing and Love Doesn't Stand a Chance, the Evil Queen.
Yeah, we do. We have
number.
And like I guess you could kind of count what she that sing off, dance off. There's like
Yeah.
a bit of movement in that. I don't know. I'm again, credit where credit's due. They incorporate dancers. I do think it works much better in the pirate song than anywhere else. Even that feels a little bit like cramped, like almost they didn't practice it in this space. Like there were kind of too many pirates. It's like we could have done 5 less pirates and done a lot more interesting stuff.
I mean, I felt the same way about the last number too.
Way
That
too many
rooftop
people.
was
It was
very
so
small and there were
crowded.
so many people. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so crowded. We really kind of I don't know, our soundstage was a lot smaller than we anticipated.
Totally.
Yeah, the lifts were so silly, my guy.
Yeah, they were. I did not like them.
So silly.
Like a 4. I feel bad for giving it a 4 because I feel like they did put a lot into
But
it.
it
I just don't
mostly
think it's
makes
not
things
good.
worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Performance, acting performance, vocal performance. Really strong in a lot of places.
Yeah, I would say actually for me, interestingly, I kind of alluded to like this show kind of being better at being a musical than it is at being a show. I thought the vocal performances were actually a lot stronger than some of the acting ones.
100%. 100%.
I especially like, and I don't know if this comes from like, again, I had a lot of extra textual like knowledge of this show. I just felt like Jennifer Morrison phoned this in. It felt like for me, acting wise. There was one scene where she was really engaged with her son, but she just felt tired.
Yeah.
Like I felt an actress who wanted out so badly.
Yeah,
And
I couldn't tell if I thought she was dying. I thought that's what was the text.
No. She's
Yeah.
fine.
Because even the makeup that they did on her made her look a little bit more sallow.
Sallow, yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I was curious if like her character is also tired.
No. No.
Yeah.
I don't think that's supposed to be true. I
Okay.
think she was just tired.
Yeah.
And that reads.
And I think the thing, to your credit with the acting performances, I think a lot of these actors don't know what their motivation is. Again, not
it's
really their
impossible
fault.
to find one.
You know?
I wouldn't know what my motivation was for any given scene or any given life choice.
Totally.
I think a lot of people are really confused about their motivations. So scenes seem really aimless.
Yeah.
Like, again, this whole episode was like, what did we accomplish?
Yeah.
Like, nothing, I think.
Yeah.
I think that contributes to the overall aimless nature of the show. And I don't think that's all on the actors because, again, how do you read this script and understand what you're going for? I would just say that on Jennifer Morrison's part, she felt really disengaged. She's and that's to say, I've seen many things that Jennifer Morrison is in, and she is a talented actor.
Yeah.
100%. I loved her on House, and I think she can do a lot. I know she's capable of more than this performance.
Yeah.
I say that.
We come from the same place of actors can have bad performances, and that can sometimes have nothing to do with the actor, right? There's the editing and direction and all that kind of stuff that goes behind it too.
100%.
And actors can have bad moments and have great moments, right? That's just how.
And again,
the
there
works.
is a moment here where she suddenly switches on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this scene with your son is interesting, where you're talking about feeling alone. I'm interested now. But the rest of it, she just felt really detached.
Totally.
She was just let me go home.
Yeah.
And, from every interview I've ever heard of her, she really did want off this show.
Makes sense.
That's why she didn't return for season 7. She got out as soon as her contract would allow her. And she's directing now. Also notably, she doesn't really act much anymore. She's really moved into directing and producing.
Interesting.
And it seems like this show really had a key role in that. And to me, she just felt, she felt really tired. She felt exhausted.
All that to say, though, vocal performances were shockingly strong.
All around great. I was blown away.
Yeah, I can't believe that especially the two guys on the show sing as good as they do.
Yeah,
I was pretty shocked by that.
Especially the guys. Usually, girls kind of have it in their back pocket.
Exactly.
I guess I just don't think men are good at things. And so when they're good at something, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, let's give them more praise than they should be getting. I'm always advocating for that. It's hard out here.
It's so hard.
I'm still leaning probably an 8, right?
Yeah,
I think the acting performances take away
to be
from
said,
it a little bit.
I do think the vocal performances make a lot of the headway here. And again, I'm not holding directionless acting against actors who were not given direction.
Yeah, exactly.
That is not their fault.
But it does inhibit their performance.
It really does. Speaking of things that were inhibiting performances, the writing. Whoa.
Yeah.
That was shit. Just not good writing.
I'll give them The Song Is Inside You. I liked that.
Yeah.
I'll give them...
Yeah, give me your rose and your thorn.
Were there any jokes at all in this whole episode? Was anything funny?
Dude, I think there were supposed to be. I do think that line from Snow where she's like, wait, a crocodile bit you and that's your life goal now is supposed to be funny. It wasn't. It wasn't funny. There is a joke, Charming, it's in a song though. He thinks he sounds good. That was a joke.
Wow, I'm coming to terms with the dark reality of I just watched a show where there weren't jokes.
Yeah, there were no jokes. Jokes left the room. Jokes weren't here.
Writing is pretty bad for me. Is it Ally McBeal bad?
Real bad.
Probably
McBeal,
not. But also,
no, because I think part of what contributed to Ally McBeal was the weirdness of there was some gender stuff that made it both bad and distasteful.
Yes,
and
yes.
This does not cross the distasteful line. It's just bad.
Yeah.
And to me, that is a distinction.
Here's a big question for you, Liza. I don't think this is how we should be doing this, but I want to do it anyway. Is the writing worse than the lyrics?
Oh my God. Oh, No, I don't think it is.
It's like a 3.
2.5. I'm not going to 3. I can't do that. That's too much. I can't do that.
That's at a 2.5.
It's a bridge
I
too
think
far.
that's right. Direction, not
Also
good.
not good.
Not
I mean,
good.
you talked about like the wild way we cut dialogue scenes in this.
It's
is insane.
crazy.
Again,
And
we
those
talked
should be
about
the
how
easiest scenes.
it's so easy. They did like random things wrong where it was like, who edited this?
Actually, I don't even necessarily want to put it on the editors. Maybe
No.
the shoots are really bad and they're doing the best they can with it. I have no idea.
I have no idea whose fault this is, but since we only have a direction category, it's all going in there.
I mean, yes, I do think that's how blame should work, though, right?
Yeah,
I think if you're not sure, blame the director.
Yeah, if you're not sure, there's one guy who was like supposed to have a vision.
Yeah.
Okay. And if he fucking didn't, or if he did, it was wild. Yeah, we've got our really bad special effects stuff and our visuals that are just really, really out of sync with each other. We've got lifts happening in the background of shots that should not be happening. We've got this like really, really clunky cuts between scenes and really unclear motivations for scenes and really
the transitions between scenes are crazy.
Transitions between scenes.
You can't even call them transitions. They're not
transitions. It's hard cut.
Yeah.
It's hard cut to different show.
Ugh. Is this another 2.5?
Yeah, I think it is, man.
Yeah.
Ugh. Here, we're gonna get some points back on commitment.
Hey,
because we do commit. Okay.
Hey, we 8 songs. We committed,
8 songs,
and they're like full length songs.
They're
full
full length songs. They are all original. We got our whole main cast to sing.
Yes.
We made our main cast dance. We made them. Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is a 10. Like they really fucking went for it. Yeah.
They committed. They committed. For sure. Okay, I don't know where to go with this.
Yeah. Okay, so they do get married, and they do get married. That is actually, I would say, pretty big for the show. Like that is 2 characters who've been dancing around each other for at this point 5 seasons. They like, you know, because like true love is obviously like a huge thing on this program, and
not as powerful as chronomancy.
No, because chronomancy is powerful magic. We all know this, but like I do think that is important. So I really want to give. I want to give props in a couple ways. In that it's the wedding episode of 2 characters, like 2 of your central characters on the show, your main character and someone else. It is also the last episode before the 2-parter finale.
Yes.
So that's huge. Like in terms of like show, this is like a really big place to put your musical episode.
And the stakes is that a bunch of people are going to die, presumably.
But that was true at the beginning of the episode, and it's true at the end of the episode. We didn't fucking fix anything.
It didn't change the stakes.
That's what drives me fucking crazy. Yeah. Is like all of those massive, huge stake things are happening, and we accomplish jack shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Nothing happens. They create a problem for themselves, and that they make this time freezing powder potion.
Totally.
And then it's immediately stolen from them and used against them, which, by the way, is hilarious.
Insane.
When he just like walks into the room and he like snaps it into his own fingers. I was like, oh my God, like we need better security. That cannot happen.
It's too easy.
It's way too easy. And then he immediately uses it against them. That's hilarious. But then she uses her power of the song to undo the trouble they just got themselves in 5 minutes ago. And that's it. Like, it doesn't help her defeat anyone. It helps us set back to 0.
Yeah, I think all of that in mind, I feel like it has to be a mid-5, right? Like, it just feels like they're playing with stakes. They don't really ultimately mean anything except for now being married, which means something. They're positioning their musical episode as their penultimate before the 2-part finale. Feels like it means something, even if it's ultimately meaningless.
Because of where it's placed in the show, I'm willing to go a little bit above a 6. Like a 5. You could get me to a 6.
Okay, I'm willing. I'll hear you at a 6. I'm very willing. It's all the same to me.
Yeah, it's very, again, like, I'm so irritated by how they set themselves up for big stakes and they kind of shy away from it. But again, they put it at such an important point in their program that I do think that deserves some credit.
All right.
Okay. The personal ranking.
Maybe the most important part.
I don't even know. I'm actually just lost.
I mean, I think I have my number for my personal ranking. Yeah, I think I have mine.
Okay, I think I have mine too.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1,
3.
6. Okay.
Whoa.
Very different.
Yeah.
That's
4.5. Yeah.
Okay, that feels right.
That feels so right to me. I was leaning closer to a 4 or 5 until I remembered that I didn't laugh at all. And I'm like,
that's so brutal.
I can't have that.
That's so brutal. I'm really giving credit for something. I don't even know what I'm giving credit for. Just being nice. Okay, so with a whopping total of 51.5, meaning
Oof.
Just better than mid. Barely. The Song in Your Heart is coming in 22nd out of 24. That
feels right.
Fantastic. Coming in right in between My Fair Laddie from The Simpsons and chapter 51 of Riverdale, Big Fun.
Yep. I mean, that sounds right to me. It's wasn't our best episode. No.
I do think we gave credit where we needed to. I do think that's true.
I think that's 100% true.
Still not good TV, guys.
It's a bit of a mess. But next week, we'll see you once more with Season 4, Episode 24 of That 70s Show, entitled That 70s Musical.
You can find this episode on Peacock.
Thank you, as always, to Olivia Braslovsky, our angelic audio architect, and to Sakana Powell, our magnificent marketing maven.
If you like the show, please be sure to rate and review us. And if you don't, keep it to yourself. You can find us on Instagram at Once More With TV or contact us using the information in the show notes.
And scene.